She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's not in.
Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna and I am a certified personal trainer, a big huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. Today I am here as personal trainer Brianna, and we are going to look at a few Instagram videos shared by Beachbody coaches, a term I use very loosely. And we're going to critique a little bit about the things that we find in these coaches that are supposed to be guiding people and helping people achieve their fitness goals. And I guess scamming them out of their money along the way too. Before we proceed, if you could do me a solid and go ahead and smash that like button, and then after that, smash that subscribe button. It doesn't have to be in that order, whichever order you want. I would really appreciate it, and most importantly, my dogs would appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get started. The most I've told you guys about my fitness background so far is that I'm just a personal trainer. Let me give you guys a little bit more information on my fitness background before we proceed. I am a NASM certified personal trainer. NASM is an acronym for National Academy of Sports Medicine. That's the organization that I got my certification through. I've held my certification for 4 years now, and I've pretty much just done freelance training, online training. I was also the fitness trainer, like the liaison sort of, for a military spouse group that I was a part of. I shared workout videos with them, and I led a couple group fitness classes for them as well. Now that you know a little bit more about my fitness background, let's get started with this first video. So this first video that we're going to watch is a male Beachbody coach, which is pretty rare to see in the company from what I understand. I took a look at his bio as far as fitness or exercise science, dietetics or nutrition credentials, anything like that. I didn't see anything else. All it says is that he's a Beachbody coach. Underneath is a link to his website where I clicked on it and it does say, you know, join my team, stuff like that. After reviewing some of his videos, his form gave my eyes diarrhea. So I found one specifically that I wanted to look at, and let's take a look at it. Let's see what this coach is doing. And by the way, there's no music to this clip either. It's just him kind of breathing really heavy in awkward silence, so you're welcome for that.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. You see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar. She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah. And all the girls around the world, they wanna be her. And all the dudes are trying to score like it's FIFA.
The exercise he was performing was a lateral deltoid raise, or delt raise for short. This exercise primarily targets your deltoids, aka your shoulders, and secondarily, depending on how you perform the movement, your trapezius muscles of your upper back complex. There's a lot of things I don't like about his form, but the first thing that stuck out to me is the fact that he is locking out his elbows. When you lock out your elbows, you're putting an incredible amount of stress on that joint. The next thing that I noticed him doing, which is something that he started doing like toward the end of his set, probably because he's starting to fatigue a little bit, he's shrugging his shoulders up. He's kind of doing like the turtle shell thing with his head. Your body is a kinetic chain, and when one thing is out of whack, it can set off a chain reaction and throw off everything else. So one of the reasons for him shrugging his shoulders and like kind of turtling his head in like that could be because he's locking out his elbows. He's doing it to compensate for the fact that his elbows are probably in a lot of pain. As we keep watching the video, he starts to bend his elbows too much and he starts to let them drop below his hands. He's also shrugging his head in, or shrugging his shoulders up to his ears. At this point, he's pretty much just swinging the weight back and forth and his shoulders aren't getting any training. I've heard some trainers say that when you're doing a lateral raise to lead with your elbows, and there's truth to this saying. With his arms bent, his elbows are pointing down. To do a correct lateral raise, you should keep your arms straight but maintain a slight bend in your elbow at all times. I will now demonstrate for you a correct lateral deltoid raise. As you can see, I'm maintaining a slight bend in my elbows, my shoulders are relaxed, and I'm not swinging the weight back and forth. Another variation of this exercise is to bring the weight a little higher and go slightly past shoulder height. Doing so actually works your trapezius muscles more. If you want to do this though, it's recommended that you should use lighter weight to avoid damaging your shoulder joints, which are sensitive and can be easily injured. Let's look at another one. So this next one, based on a look at her bio, says she's a CNA gal trying to work through this COVID phase. I hear that. And underneath there's a link to her Beachbody profile, which I clicked and it was the same kind of spiel. Join my team, join our challenge, whatever, that kind of thing. CNA, pretty sure a CNA is a certified nursing assistant. So I guess in addition to being a CNA, she's also a Anyway, so in addition to being a CNA, it looks like she's also a Beachbody coach. So she also had a few videos on her page, and let's just click on this one and give it a watch. Just so you guys know, that was only like a 6 or 7 second clip, but I watched it on a loop because it was so short. I had to watch it on a loop to like really see what she was doing, so that's why I just played for like the last 25 seconds. Okay, so it looks like she was doing a circuit. We couldn't see a whole, we only got maybe like 2 seconds of each exercise she was doing, but it was still enough for me to see and have words for. So it looks like she's doing a circuit of push-ups, upright rows, push-ups again, and then lateral lunges. I could talk about the other exercises, but I really just want to talk about her push-ups. They're not good. Biggest thing I don't like about her push-ups is that her elbows are kind of flaring out. Right, this can cause a lot of damage to your shoulder joints. I heard from another personal trainer one time a really good tip, and I'll never forget it. It's something that she tells her clients to kind of help them keep their push-up form correct. When you are doing push-ups, your body should be in the shape of an arrow, not a T. Oftentimes, whenever people do really wide push-ups like this, it's just because their upper body is not developed and strong enough to be able to do push-ups correctly, so they do wide grip push-ups to compensate for that. Anatomically, a wider grip does activate your chest muscles. A wider grip does activate your chest muscles more than a regular grip push-up, but it's really not worth the potential damage you could be causing to your shoulder joint. Here is how you do a correct push-up. Hi, it's me from the future. So Ace is going to be demonstrating the push-ups right now because for some reason when I was recording the demo videos I skipped over it and I'm like dressed and I don't feel like getting into different clothes. So for that reason Ace is going to be demonstrating the push-ups for us.
Move, dog, I gotta be sexy.
Okay, everybody out, go!
You see her walking down the boulevard.
As you can see, my body is making an arrow shape, not a T. I'm keeping my body straight in a plank position, and my head is not slumping down, and I'm not shrugging my shoulders up to my ears. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, so this next one, let's take a look at her profile. Independent mom, God first, helping others, ice cream and pizza addict, I feel that. Fitness lover, motivator, and health and fitness coach. I clicked on the link in her profile, and it was just a pretty standard like Beachbody stuff, like join my team, here's a challenge pack, drink this disgusting shake, that sort of thing. So let's look at one of these videos. She's combining a dumbbell row with a glute kickback. And when you do a hold like that, it's called an isometric hold. Okay, so she's kind of trying to do an isometric hold in like pulses with her leg. Oh, she almost lost her balance. Okay, so the exercise that she is doing is what would be considered a compound exercise. A compound exercise is an exercise that works multiple muscle groups at one time, as opposed to an isolation exercise, which works one muscle at a time. Compound exercises are a great way to get a full body workout, but I don't like this one because it's almost too compound. I don't like this exercise because rows are great, glute kickbacks are great, but by combining the two and then adding the element of having to balance on one leg, I feel like it doesn't look like she can really focus on those rows and really give them the attention they need. Same thing with her kickbacks. Because she's trying to focus so hard on not falling, she's not really focusing on her rowing form or her kickback form. When you consider that most of their clients, and I'm hesitant to call them clients, I mean I guess customers, when you consider that most of them are inexperienced beginners and maybe even some of them are overweight, this is not a good exercise to advise, especially without a trainer physically present to help you execute it with proper form. Here is an example of a good upper and lower body compound exercise.
Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see see her walking down the boulevard. She got the posture of a superstar.
Okay, so this next video is actually going to be the last Beachbody coach we take a look at. So based on her profile, she's a mom of 5, she's a Beachbody coach, baseball mom, love fitness, follow her son's band, which I have scribbled out here. There's no other credentials in there, and she doesn't have a website or anything linked, but her profile, her bio says that she's a Beachbody coach. She has a lot of exercise videos posted, so I found one and I wanted to, let's just watch it.
Everyone's lining up to see it. There must be something about her features. You'll find her beauty goes much deeper once you get to meet her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features.
I'm drinking detox water. Just kidding, it's regular water. Detox water is stupid. Okay, so the exercise we see her demonstrating for us is called a Romanian deadlift, and her form gives me heart palpitations. The Romanian deadlift primarily works the hamstrings and the glutes. RDLs are an exercise that I see done incorrectly a lot by people who are inexperienced, and doing RDLs incorrectly can cause a lot of serious damage. The very first thing I don't like about her form is that she is rounding out her back like crazy. I mean, we're not seeing a lateral view, we're seeing her from the front. Even looking from the front, you can still see how much she's rounding out her back. At all times, while you're doing a Romanian deadlift, it's important to engage your abdominals to protect your lower back from injury. And when you keep your abs tight, you'll see that your back kind of starts to straighten up naturally by itself. She's not bracing her core, that's why her back is rounding like that. A lot of people think your core is just your abs. Your core is not just your abdominals. Your core is pretty much all these muscles. It's your abs, your obliques, your lats, your traps. Like even I've seen some people even include your glutes with your core. So it's pretty much all the muscles like in the center of the body. Is that good? Is that anatomical? The next thing I'm looking at is her knees. It looks like her knees are completely locked out. There needs to be a slight bend in your knee at all times while you're performing an RDL. By locking out her knees like this, she's pretty much taking all of the work off of her glutes and hamstrings, which should be the primary muscles that are being worked right now. She's basically just moving the weight up and down with her arms. Here is a properly executed Romanian deadlift.
She looks so fly in those Gucci slides. Yeah, yeah, I wonder what she hides under her disguise. Yeah, 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 yeah. And all the girls
As you can see, I'm keeping my back straight and not letting it round out. To help me do this, I'm bracing my abdominals, keeping my abs tight, and I'm also maintaining a slight bend in my knees.
she's a Mona Lisa.
As I'm going down, you can see my hips kind of pushing out, and this will also help you get a nice good stretch in your hamstrings. And when I'm coming up, while still not locking out my knees, I'm clenching my glutes at the top.
She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her.
Okay, let's move on. So this next person, based on what their bio says, I actually was not able to ascertain whether or not she was a Beachbody coach. Which is that hashtag in a lot of her posts that I could see. In fact, that's how I found her video. But based on her bio, I don't see anything about her being a coach, so she might just be a client of one of the programs. Or I guess a customer of one of the programs. She also has a lot of videos, so I just picked one and I want to take a look at, so here we go. Also, so you know, this one is, it's multiple videos, but I only watched the first one because that's the one that I felt like I wanted to critique. Here we go.
Triple change, single tempo, from the back. Well done, everybody. We have one more triple change, single tempo, from the back. Well done, everybody. We have one more triple change, single tempo, from the back. Well done, everybody. We have one more triple change.
Okay, so she is doing another compound exercise. It looks like she's combining a squat with like an overhead raise. From what I could tell, she is not a Beachbody coach, but more of just a customer. I am not so much mad at her form because it's not her fault, because she might not know better. I am more mad at Beachbody for giving these workouts without proper instruction. I think what we kind of heard in the background was, it sounds like a Jane Fonda workout tape, but it's probably, I guess it was the Beachbody tape, the Beachbody video, whatever, I don't know what it is. There's value in a one-on-one personal trainer instructing you and guiding you. Yes, they provide workout videos, and I'm sure they have some sort of instruction in the videos, but nothing is ever gonna beat a one-on-one in-person trainer. As for her form, she does not have good range of motion in her squat at all. The reason for this could be because of muscle imbalances, or it could be because of her size, or it could be a combination of the two. And she's not sitting very deep in her squat to really be getting the full benefits of the squat. I'm not blaming her for this. Based on what I could see, she's someone who's just looking to get in shape and lose some weight. She only has about 100 posts, so I scroll all the way to the bottom of her profile. And there was a lot of talk about, follow me on my journey and here's my healthy meal, stuff like that. It's not her fault. She has no one there to tell her. And what's worse is these Beachbody coaches, most of them are not credentialed. Most of them aren't certified personal trainers. So even if she had one of them like on a video call or something like that, would they even be able to give her the proper instruction on her form? In addition, depending on a personal trainer's specialty, if someone's specialty is corrective exercise, for example, if she is experiencing muscle imbalances that are impeding her squat movement, a corrective exercise specialist could sit down with her and help her develop a plan with exercises and stretches that'll help her improve her squat. Here, I will now demonstrate a proper bodyweight squat. As you can see, I'm getting a full range of motion by sitting down deep into my squat, taking my thighs all the way down to parallel with the ground. You might see and hear a lot of people say that you shouldn't let your knees surpass your toes when you're doing a squat. However, that is sort of a quote-unquote rule. However, if you are somebody with longer limbs, which there are people who are not necessarily tall but have long limbs. I've actually been told that I have long limbs but I'm short. If you're somebody who has long limbs, your knees might surpass your toes just a little bit, and in that case, even if you're doing everything else right, that might just be your anatomy. In conclusion, I said this in my last anti-MLM video, and I will probably say it in every single one of them. Just because you buy the starter pack doesn't mean you're a coach. Without the expertise and guidance of a certified and credentialed fitness professional, a lot of these clients and customers of Beachbody, Arbonne, all of them really, could really get hurt. As for the coaches, they're coaches. That means that their clients are looking to them for help, guidance, advice. So many of them have no fitness or exercise science background, and it really shows. They're leading challenges and they're coaching clients when they themselves have no idea what they're doing. It's dangerous. If you are looking for nutrition advice and you need a specific diet to help with a condition you might have, seek the word of a credentialed professional like a registered dietitian, not a Karen who recommends Shakeology. If you need help with coming up with a workout plan, stretching, you want to work on your strength, you want to work on your speed, you want to work on your flexibility, seek the word of a certified personal trainer, not a Karen who bought the starter pack. Okay, that's it for me today, but I think I'm a little heated, so I think to cool off, we should go and say goodbye to the dogs. Hey there, handsome. This is Zeus. I don't know if you guys met him yet. Say bye. Say please like and please subscribe.